Welcome everyone to a new What If. What if Deku became mechagodzilla? Here we go. So we start off at Izuku's in school, and it's at the point where the teacher says, "Alright class, I'm gonna be wondering what are you gonna do with your pathetic lives?" As he throws the papers all in the air and he says, "Forget all that. I know you want to be heroes." As everyone in the classroom celebrates with their quirks. Except for Izuku, since he's quirkless in this. As Bakugo gives his old speech of how he's the quote-unquote best. And we'll get into UA. What's this? Sorry. As the teacher said, "Oh yeah, Midoriya, you want to go to UA too?" As everyone stops and laughs at Izuku because he wants to go to UA, the quote-unquote best school. Anyway, after that, after class ends, Bakugo says, "You know what? If you want the quirk so badly, take a swan dive off the roof of the building and pray that you'll have a quirk in your next life." As Izuku gives Bakugo a look of forgotten dreams. As he says, "You know what? Maybe I will." As Bakugo thinks, "What? There's no way. But what if?" And then, just 2 hours later, Izuku's writing in his notebook. Well, a new one. He takes his shoes off and writes in it. Writes in the new notebook saying, "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry I couldn't become a hero without a quirk. It's just this school. It's just this horrible place that I call a living hell." And Bakugo, I'm tired of his schmuck. As he places it into his shoes and does what Bakugo says, he jumps while doing a swan dive, and then he goes splat. But the thing was, it was right in front of Bakugo and his mother. In this universe, Bakugo gets picked up by his mother instead of them walking away. I know, I'm a big baby. Anyway, as Mitsuki says, "Is that Izuku?" As Bakugo realizes this and thinks, "Dear God." As Bakugo is basically hyperventilating, like, as he thinks to himself, I'm sorry, please, I'm sorry." As a few hours pass by, Izuku gets placed somewhere else, a hospital even. Inko's sitting next to the lifeless body as a final goodbye. But then Inko says, forget all the "but then" part. Inko says, "I'm sorry, Izuku. Why didn't I say you can become a hero? Why? What have I done?" As Mitsuki's there to comfort Inko while saying, "It's okay, it's not your fault. But who could have done this?" As the doctor comes in while saying, "If you're wondering who could have done this, it was a moment of suicide." As Izuku's dead. Inko replies with, "What?" As the doctor says, Yes, it was a moment of suicide. Judging by his personality, he was either been told to by a very close friend, long forgotten, or act of sadness while in a happy mask. As Inko thinks this to be fake smile and stuff, like hiding the slowly saddening soul, as Mitsuki in this universe is a lot smarter, thinking, Did Bakugo tell him this? No way! But before the doctor is going to say anything else, he gets interrupted by a huge explosion. This basically burning Mitsuki and Inko. And yeah, Inko will have a huge burn on her face. Not like Todoroki's, but like Two-Face kind of burn. She's still the same person, she just has a huge scar. As Mitsuki's just a walking piece of jerky. Inko looks up with her one good eye, seeing a bunch of men with guns shooting everything. As an old man walks into the room while saying, "We'll take his head." As Inko plays dead, thinking, "Are they gonna kill me? And what do they mean? We'll take his head? What's going on?" As they get a saw, not like a buzz saw, no, it's like, or a chainsaw, no, it's just a saw. They cut off Izuku's head and leave the building. 5 months pass by. Inko wakes up in a hospital, a different one, gasping for air. Izuku! What's going on? As the doctor says, you're finally awake. Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am, but you were found in a room, burnt to a crisp. Luckily, your friend was there to make sure you were okay. As Inko says, "Wait, it's Mitsuki?" "Yeah, it's Mitsuki," as the doctor replies with, "Yeah." As Inko replies with, "Where is she?" As the doctor says, "Don't worry, she's doing fine. She's still at home. She's tougher than she looks. Trust me, I had enough slaps with the face to prove it." Ow. As Inko realizes this, where she says, but screams out, "Is Izuku okay?" As she covers her mouth, thinking, this is embarrassing. As the doctor says, "What?" As Inko says, "Well, I had a child named Izuku. He was my son, and he died due to a suicide attempt. But when I was found in the room, I was actually conscious at the time, and I saw one man saw off his head when he was dead already. Still, I'm scared." As the doctor says, "Don't worry, we'll find these villains." As we cut to Izuku's perspective, like, at this moment, his head is just a skull with hair. But, what is it? Oh yeah, it says, "Mechagodzilla Online, version 1.0, activating claws." As Izuku, kind of wakes up at this moment, like saying, "What the? Huh? Mechagodzilla?" And then he gets powered up by energy, of course. As like he realizes he can't control his body. And yeah. He thinks to himself, what's going on? As something bursts out of some form of cage nearby. A lizard that only walks on 2 legs, front legs, may I remind you, and a long skull-like face. Yep, this is the skull crawler. As Izuku almost panics, like self-panics in his mind, new mind, while almost saying, "What is that?" As he gets interrupted with his own arm grabbing it while he's getting a good look on it. He's thinking, 4 fingers? What happened to me? Did I awaken my quirk? Is this my new life? As he realizes something's coming up his throat. He feels like he's gonna burp for some reason. Sorry. And then he's gonna say, I think I had too much to eat. And then, all of a sudden, he's expecting to... but it's a laser going through the lizard's mouth. He's thinking to himself, what's going on? As he's basically melting the lizard alive. It's split in half, and he's powering down. As he hears a faint word saying, Mr. Rei Sarazawa, that wasn't 100%. As one day, Izuku realizes he can move on his own now, while thinking to himself, maybe I'm free to go? Then he gets hit with the head with a metal bar or something. I don't know what's going on with this story. He realizes that he's back to his normal self, but with a floating head. Detached from the body, of course. As Izuku realizes this, saying, wait, what? As Izuku wonders, what happened? He wanders around for a bit and accesses new memories from a person named Ren Sarazawa. He gets through them and he kinda understands him, but not much, since Izuku doesn't have a dad. And yeah. One day, while brainstorming of how he can escape this metal body, the robot powers up again, and yeah, they're filling it with some form of blue juice. And the person saying, this should destroy the heroes once and for all. As Izuku's hearing this after kind of waking up, aka powering up, Izuku is thinking, what? Is this a metal body using villain technology? Oh, heck no. As Izuku detaches from the bluish goo while breaking out, killing almost everyone there. Except for 2 people. All for One, and Tomura Shigaraki. As Shigaraki says, well, this mecha has gotten loose. As All for One basically has a furious tantrum like, come on! As one of the doctors who survived the attack saying, Master, What should we do? As all for one saying, quiet! As killing him with some form of metal hand. While saying, maybe we should use something else for the mecha base. We go back to Izuku's perspective. He's coming out of a mountain, basically, while wondering what's going on. As Izuku notices the ocean, he tries getting to it, and then he looks at his reflection. It's like a gigantic robotic dinosaur. As he thinks, I changed for a bit. And then he notices behind him some heroes that are kind of flying towards him. They're Superman kind of flyers. As Izuku's trying to say, wait, I'm a good guy. They only hear, as one of the heroes punches this huge robot into the ocean. They're celebrating, of course, since they think it's a huge robotic villain. But Izuku is just kind of swimming now. He thinks to himself, wow, I couldn't swim before, but now I'm amazing. Whee! He explores the ocean for a bit now. He decides to make a little den in the ocean. And 5 months pass by as Izuku wakes up with a bunch of seaweed on his head while saying, wow, how long have I been here? As he realizes he's stayed there for so long, coral decided to grow on his nose. As Izuku notices this and is saying, sorry. As in this universe, Izuku knows that coral is just an animal. Gently picking it off his nose and putting it onto the seafloor while saying, good day, coral. As Izuku explores the oceans once more, wondering, wait, can I still eat? As Izuku notices a huge lump of rubbish on the beach, he tries to check if anyone's there. Luckily, nobody isn't. So he sneaks onto the shore and decides to wonder, why am I hungry after seeing a lump of garbage? He tries to give it a sniff, but he realizes he's basically a robot now. He can't sniff, he can't taste. So he's like, if I can't taste, this means. So he decides to eat almost every single bit of garbage. Izuku, realizing this, he's gotten a bit stronger. He thinks, so, nah, maybe it's just because I slept. As he eats the lumps of old ships, buses that are broken down and useless, and heck, even a Ferris wheel. But after he's trying to somehow eat the Ferris wheel, a man with yellow hair, a skinny man, noticed this huge robotic thing eating almost every single bit of rubbish. As he notices the huge mechanical lizard looking at him while it's making a noise like, down, down, down. And to Izuku, he's saying, hello. Sorry, I heard something, but it was nothing. This skeletal man kinda is scared, but Izuku decides to follow him, but gently walking, as the skeletal man decides to, you know what, fluid. He goes into his buff form. Yes, this is All Might. Wait, did I say it's All Might? I'm not sure. I forgot easily. Short-term memory loss I have? Maybe. Is he saying, stop right there, you mechanical fiend? as Izuku's trying to say things, but after eating just a bunch of vehicles, he's kind of has been given the ability to speak. It's kind of like a bumblebee situation. You can only take radio waves and put them into a sentence. Izuku kind of says in multiple accents, "Oh my god, it is the All Might." And then he also says again, "I am a big fan." Sorry, thought I saw something. As All Might says, "Wait, really? Then why are you eating rubbish?" As this gigantic mecha thing says, "I have no clue. I just felt like cooking." As All Might notices that he has some form of door on his head, as he says, "Ayo, what's your name?" As this mecha says, Z K U I O I A. As All Might's trying to put this into a sentence, as he realizes, "Oh, your name must be Izuku Midoriya?" As Izuku tries to give a thumbs up, but he technically has 4 thumbs and no fingers now. So he says, "Golden Star!" And Izuku falls to the ground, not deactivating, but feeling there's something on his head, as All Might climbs onto his forehead while saying, "You have a bunch of seaweed on your head, and it's all green." As Izuku says, "Why, thank you." As All Might opens the door to see, well, something strange. A skull of a person with green hair. As All Might jumps at this while saying, "Ah!" As Izuku realizes this, he asks, What's going on?" As All Might says, Nothing. As he taps the case around the skull, and it says, "Accessing memory files. Loading complete." As All Might has got to see all of Izuku's memories, even the bad ones. As Izuku feels a slight tickle on his head, he thinks, get out. As All Might hears it shaking, since he's inside Izuku's head now, All Might says, "Whoa, watch it." Huh? All Might notices a button that says, "Voice box deactivated. Press button to activate." All Might decides to activate it to see what this kid actually sounds like, as this whole Bumblebee talk is going bye-bye. Sorry, y'all. As Izuku says, testing, 1, 2, check 3. Thank you. As Izuku stands up, giving All Might a little jolt of shock, as he's saying, "Whoa, watch it." And he says, "Thank you." As Izuku tries to shake All Might out of his head, successfully doing it while catching him, so he doesn't fall to his death. While Izuku's thanking him repeatedly, like, "Thank you. I actually couldn't talk for a while, so I had to use those weird radio things. Thank you." As All Might says, "No problem, kid." As Izuku says, "Wait, how do you know that I was a boy?" All Might says, lucky guess? As Izuku's like, yeah. As All Might questions Izuku, like if he wants to go to the UA training course. Izuku says, yes, I actually want to. We go 10 months in. Unfortunately, Izuku doesn't have a one for all in this because he's a robot. How is he supposed to get the DNA? Well, he is gonna have it. It's just in a weird way. As All Might gives out the secret to Izuku. Yeah. Izuku knows. But All Might questions about his mother, Inko Midoriya. Saying, hey, Izuku. While saying, yeah, All Might. Keep in mind, All Might's in his head again. Like sitting on a little chair he built there. Do you remember your mother? As Izuku says, of course. How can I forget her? The most kindest woman I've ever met. I think she misses me. All Might, all of a sudden remembers the name, Inko Midoriya. As All Might says, hey Izuku, by any chance, is your mother Inko? As Izuku says, yes, how did you guess? As All Might downloads a newspaper file into Izuku's sight box. As he sees a woman named Inko Midoriya with a scarred face, like burnt to a crisp almost. Izuku kind of gets mad at this, like saying, what the hell has happened to my mother? And in this universe, when Mechagodzilla, aka Izuku in this, is calm or neutral, his greenish glow is mostly present. But when he's angry, is a red glow, like the original. And All Might says, don't worry. She says the same people that took your head. And I think I might have found it. As Izuku says, where is it? It's in your head. Like I am. As Izuku wonders, wait, is that true? As he tries to roll his eyes back. Luckily, this is not hurting him since he is a robot. And he says, oh, you're right. Right. And now, All Might decides to give the drop on Izuku. Hey, Izuku. As he says, yeah? I decide to make you my successor. As Izuku really stops and says, really? Oh, and by the way, they're in the ocean at this case. And All Might says, really? And he explains how it's supposed to go, and Izuku says, well, that's going to be tough. I don't have a stomach. I only have jaw grinders. As All Might has an idea. He opens Izuku's skull case, in this case, and puts a bit of his hair inside the mouth, and decides to make a chewing action. And, Izuku feeling a bit strange in the mouth, saying, I thought robots are not supposed to feel things. He's kind of glitching in this case because, if you don't know, in this universe, the skull and the mecha itself are connected in a way. And, yeah. Now we head on to the UA entrance. Izuku goes into a secret way, not to frighten anyone. And he does fall and trip, but he's somehow been caught by a tiny boop on his toe. He looks down to see a girl, kind of scared, saying, as she puts the huge mecha thing onto its feet while saying, bye. As Izuku says, thank you. That was strange. As Izuku gets through the huge doors, as he's faced with multiple robots, even 2 0-pointers. He destroys 5 2-pointers, 3 1-pointers, and now he's on to the 2-pointers. But these ones are shaped differently. One of them is similarly shaped to him, and the other is similarly shaped to a monkey. You can probably guess where this is going. So the big lizard-looking one is no chance against Izuku. He downright burns it to a crisp with his laser breath that he's now accessed. He's saying, "Oh, this is handy." As the monkey-looking one throws the scrap metal of what's left of the robots at him. Some of them getting stuck into Izuku, as Izuku's voice box is kind of malfunctioning. So like, you think, you can't stop me. As the 0-pointer is doing, classic robot stuff. As Izuku grabs the robot with his tail and starts drilling into it. Yeah, he's basically won this battle. And that's where I have to leave it off. Sorry, guys. No perspective on the other people, because nothing happens. They just fight robots, get away from the big robot, yada, yada, yada. Nothing happened. So, bye, y'all. And by the way, prepare to see more what ifs. Adios, amigos. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want more. Hit the bell notification to be notified for some more videos.